Hey everybody, welcome back to Backlog Banter. I'm your boy Abram, joined as usual by Tucker, part of the conversation. Hazel, and we're here to talk about the games we were part of the conversation for leading up to release because today we are doing it. Finally, the crowds have been asking for
Oh
it.
yeah,
We're talking about the games across our lives that we have been the most excited for. Some might call it our most anticipated games, but it's not in the sense of these are the games coming up that we're looking
no,
forward to. It's games that have already come out that at the time we were really anticipating. It's
absolutely.
simple when we get into it, but before we do, if you want to tell us the games that tickled your fancy the strongest in your life, make sure to join our Discord link as usual, top of the description or down there. Like the video, ring the bell, subscribe to the channel. We're doing about half and half business when it comes to subscribers watching our content, non-subscribers watching our content. So fix
Yeah,
that. Join our cult.
absolutely.
But Tucker, we're gonna go back and forth, firing off some games that we've been anticipating across our lives. I have more than you, so I'm going to let you go first. No, that doesn't make
That
sense.
doesn't make sense. No,
I'm
just
gonna go. Yeah,
throw in my direction, and if it
yeah.
if it happens to spark some conversation, if it
It doesn't.
yeah,
You
if
know,
it
fuck
brings
it.
some light to my life, I'll smile.
Sure. But Tucker, I'm gonna start with this. Is I think channeling my younger self, trying to remember what was the very first game that I was very excited about.
Hmm.
And the answer to that question, Tucker, is Lego Indiana Jones on
All
PlayStation
right, now
2.
this is a fun place to start the discussion because I've
Yeah.
never played this game. It means nothing to me. Most of the Lego games mean nothing to me. So the ball's in your court.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, I've talked about this on other places, but the games I loved the most were Lego Star Wars and then Lego Batman.
Yeah,
They were gifts from various family members, like post release, I believe, for the most part. But Lego Indiana Jones was in the time of my life when the game wasn't out yet. Unlike Lego
yeah,
Batman, which I got as a gift from my aunt, Lego Star Wars, all of that. So boom, Abram loves Lego, brand new Lego game coming out. Now, what's interesting about this is that I wasn't really an Indiana Jones fan. I had
mm,
seen Raiders of the Lost Ark and I liked it. And I lived in a rural place in Maine, so I going outside and pretending I was Indiana Jones.
yeah.
But I had a little hat and I used a belt as a whip.
Of course you had
Um,
a hat.
but it wasn't a franchise that I really resonated with. But the combined factor of just Indiana Jones being a thing that I allegedly liked as a kid, and the
Sure.
fact that it was the next Lego game,
Yeah.
I was very excited. And so I remember going to Target, my parents buying it for me, and I had a PS2 and a DS.
Hmm.
Obviously, the PS2 version was 1K because it was much better.
Yeah.
But I had my DS in my pocket, and I was like, if I get the DS version, I can have the game literally right now
Now, yes,
instead of it.
absolutely. Instead
Yeah,
of 45 minutes later when you're home.
right. And so I chose the DS version, and I liked it a lot. But obviously, the proper console one was better, which I ended up getting shortly later. But that was the first time I remember being genuinely incredibly excited for a game, knowing about it before it came out, seeing trailers, seeing advertisements, being like, I need this on release.
Absolutely. I am starting in a place that's similar. This is probably the
Yeah.
oldest game that I remember knowing about pre-release and being incredibly excited for, and that of course was Pokemon Black and White. The
Okay.
announcement cycle of this game is very peculiar in my mind. I don't have full access to the internet, or don't, at least I'm not cognizant of the internet at this point in my life
Sure.
when these games are being revealed. And I remember seeing a Pokemon card pack with Zora and Zoroark on it. And me and my brother were Pokemon fans. You know, we know all the Pokemon. We're looking at this like, we're not falling for that. That is not a real Pokemon. We are not going to buy these cards because they're put. That's not a creature we've seen before.
Right.
And of course, that was my first, uh, first chance of being exposed to the fact that there were going to be more Pokemon games other than the ones that I'd already played. And throughout the hype cycle of this game, I had a babysitter who would come over and he showed us how to look up the Unova Pokemon before they were officially revealed to America. So we
Sure.
would go on this website every day, see if there's new Pokemon revealed. I remember seeing like Muna be revealed for the first time, or fucking Litwick, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like this was the craziest thing to me that there were these Japanese Pokemon out in the wilderness. They were coming eventually, and I got that game on release and I enjoyed the hell out of it. But it was one of the first times for a video game that I was aware that more were releasing.
Was that 2010 or 2011?
Black and White
2011.
2010.
Okay, yeah. Because so what's
10,
interesting
11,
is
one of the two.
I didn't get Black and White on release because I didn't really fall in love with Pokemon the games because I always loved the toys and everything as we talked about on Nintendo at night. But I played
in
Platinum.
2010.
I played Platinum maybe even when Black and White was already out because I got Black and
Sure.
White and I ended up getting it much later. When I was visiting my uncle one time, I ended up getting it. But yeah, we're gonna get to the Pokemon game I was really jonesing for.
These are not the only Pokemon games on my list here. I'm just gonna let you know that.
Sure, I actually only have one Pokemon game on this list.
Well, the funny thing about me sitting back,
Yeah,
I'm actually on my computer during class trying to find out this list of games that I
yeah,
was most anticipated for. I had to hold myself back from it being like all Pokemon games
sure, sure,
because
sure.
frankly, and this is a trend that you'll notice as I'm discussing some of these games. There are games I'm very excited for, and then there's an echelon right above that, which is Pokemon and Smash, which just
Okay,
kind of create this ungodly tier of hype in my mind.
awesome, awesome. I will talk about. We'll get to Smash Brothers in due time.
Yeah.
But another one that's not gonna be on your list, I don't think, 'cause you never played it. It's Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Oh yeah. No,
Now,
can't say I was even aware of that game when it was being announced.
Super Mario Galaxy 2 is a really special game to me because I think it's the first game that I bought with my own money. And the
Sure.
reason I put that in air quotes is because the way I was able to get the game, I remember, is that GameStop was having like a bonus trade-in credit deal where
Okay.
you trade in these select games and you get more towards Galaxy 2.
Oh yeah.
And so
Okay.
I picked a couple off my shelf, brought them to the store, and got Galaxy 2 with my own money. And
Sure.
I remember that was so special because I got the game. If it was not on release day, it was release weekend. And I got also the strategy guide for it
Hmm.
because I had left extra credit left over. I'm like Nintendo book. Because I actually used to, when I was a kid, I used to bring strategy guides with me in my book bag to school. And so I was happy I had another one to my collection. But the reason I'm so excited for this game is because Galaxy, as people know, not only one of my favorite games of all time, but a game that's really important to me as a kid. Is one of my favorite games to play on the Wii. I've got very distinct memories of playing it when I was. I'm not again. I didn't get it released, but a couple years after. And so Galaxy 2, I probably heard about it from the Nintendo channel. If people
Yeah.
remember this on the Wii, there was this show with who was it? Gary. It was no, it was called Nintendo Week, and there was Gary and Allison maybe I
Sure.
think, and
Let's
they
go
would
with that.
talk, yeah, and they'd talk about upcoming Nintendo games, and that's probably where I heard about it. My chronology might be wrong there, but it was either that or it was like YouTube ads or something. But I
Yeah.
got it
Sure.
in my head that Galaxy 2 is coming out, and I got to the store, I got it, and I was very, very pleased that day. So that one's got to be on the list.
That that's a good story of discovering something through a tangential source. Like
Yeah,
you're not actively in the trenches digging up information about Galaxy 2, but you heard that there was a Galaxy 2 and you're like, a ring a ding ding, I better go get it. So let's jump from the oldest game on this list to the by far most recent one, which is of course Elden Ring. And
yes,
Elden Ring, I think, exists in not only its own tier for me because it's kind of one of the only games that breaks into the ungodly hype tier that's not in Pokemon or Smash game, but in terms of hype in gaming culture, Elden Ring has been obviously anticipated for a long time. But for me, the reason
yeah,
this game is so special is because I played through Bloodborne and Dark Souls early last year, and suddenly I'm like, oh god, there is a new game from this team coming out. And of course, I was familiar with Miyazaki, I was familiar with FromSoft, but knowing that they were working on something big, it was open world, they had George R. R. Martin attached, like there was a lot of factors going into this that when this is one of the most special like gaming memories of my life, and I was at the zoo when it happened. I'm at the Audubon Zoo in New Orleans, Louisiana, with my grandmother who's like sweating. We're looking at a baby monkey peeing off a bridge or whatever, and my friend Joe texts me. He's like, "Oh God, oh God, oh God, Elden Ring trailer just dropped," and I'm like. Antsy, I'm losing my mind. I'm like, I need to watch this trailer right now. And I
yeah,
get into the car. We're driving away, and I just pull out my phone. I'm looking at Elden Ring, like, this looks incredible. This is amazing. And of course, that kind of just builds and builds and builds. I mean, the hype cycle around the game, showing the pot friend and all this kind of stuff, like it was a big deal for me. And then I especially remember the day that the Elden Ring reviews dropped, and I was at work that morning, and I was counting down the minutes until the reviews dropped just so I could get more
yeah,
information about this game. I'm sitting at work for like 3 hours straight, just watching reviews, reading reviews, looking at comments on Twitter, like, and then of course getting the game in my hands and it being as fantastic as it is, a perfect cycle of me learning about a game and just being so excited for it. Like waking up every a couple nights every few months, be like, Elden Ring is coming soon. I will be able to play this game, and just absolutely vibrating with excitement.
yeah. I mean, I bought that game because of the reviews and
Yeah.
because it was John Doyle and you bullying me into being like, you gotta play Elden. There was a chain reaction in the Lost and Cult WhatsApp when those reviews came out. John Doyle, who runs the whole thing, is a humongous FromSoft fan, so he was buying it already. But those reviews started dropping, and then John started like being like, "You gotta buy Elden Ring," and there was probably 4 or 5 of us who, in a span of like 15 minutes, all bought the game right there. So incredible game. This summer, as I've said, I'm going to play it through properly. But my next game, another one that's knocking me on your list, and I locked two things together in my mind. You know where I heard about Galaxy 2? And this is obvious. Nintendo Power. Nintendo Power
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
was the source of a lot of my gaming news. And this game might have actually come out before Galaxy 2, so this might have been the first game I bought with my own money. I don't fucking know. It's all in a similar time frame.
Yeah.
This game is WarioWare DIY.
Oh, interesting.
And WarioWare DIY was incredibly exciting to me for a number of reasons, but principally because of Nintendo Power. Because the gimmick of WarioWare DIY is that you can make your own micro games and share them online. And so the Nintendo Power staff were making theirs and showing them in the magazine. Here's how I made it. Here's what you can do. And it was like, for me, being a kid who loved to draw and loved to invent little worlds, and obviously loved Nintendo Power, it seemed like a perfect synergy of all this shit. So I remember distinctly, game comes out, begging my parents to drive into the store so I can go get it. And spending a lot of time on WarioWare DIY, playing, the micro games from the staff, downloading those, but also just making all kinds of terrible shit. Like I still have that cartridge. Sure. It would be funny to go back and pop that in my 3DS and just see what's on there.
Yeah,
because you could make like comics, you could make actual games, you could make songs, and I'm sure they all suck.
Oh, but I hope so.
But I mean, hours and hours and hours. I played that game nonstop. So another one I have to shut out because the Nintendo Power Industrial Complex really motivated a number of my purchases when I was a kid.
Let's jump to something that is definitely not on your list, and this is one that is unfortunately on my list because I was burned by my hype for that game, and that's of course Marvel's Avengers. And you and I were talking a little bit about this before. We're trying to limit our games to mostly things that came out before BLB started, but this is kind of a special case because. Sure. The Marvel's Avengers game is teased years and years ago that Square Enix is making a Marvel Avengers game. Yeah. And we don't know exactly what it is. We don't know what the gameplay is going to be like, but they've got these cool renders of Thor's hammer and Cap's shield and stuff like that. It's like, oh, it's going to happen. It's going to be real. And then the Square Enix E3 where they show off that first reveal trailer and the gameplay's a little bit weird and the character models are semi-MCU-like, but they're not quite there. It's like, oh, I don't know. But then when the game starts getting a lot more information through the war tables that they were holding and other trailers, I'm like, oh, actually, this seems pretty interesting. The constantly expanding roster that they're going to keep adding. And I was watching his war tables, getting very, very interested. We have a number of our oldest BLB videos are me talking about that game, us thinking maybe it's going to be pretty good. And then the game comes out and it's broken and the campaign is pretty lackluster and it's one of my most biggest disappointments of all time, but there was certainly a time when I thought that I was a staunch defender of this game. Without having played it. And even when I did get my hands on it, I think we have a video of me talking about my hands-on impressions with the demo, which I thought was quite a lot of fun. But it turns out that the game is, fun, button mashy fun for 30 minutes, but once you get into a larger campaign and you realize, no, there's not much to this, that's what really sets in. But I was definitely very excited for the game. Unwarranted though.
Yeah, I think I wasn't because I've been burnt by a game that's not on this list, but I was anticipating Anthem before its release. I got that day one, and that transpired as it did.
Yeah.
Wii Sports Resort is my next game.
Oh, okay.
So when I got my Wii, like most people's Wiis, it came with Wii Sports, believe it or not.
What?
And I played the shit out of Wii Sports. I distinctly remember, so I get my Wii on day one. I get packed into Wii Sports, and then I pick, and I have no fucking clue why I picked this game. My parents are like, you can pick another game. I picked Super Paper Mario.
Yeah, I think you've mentioned that before.
And I'm not sure why, but I distinctly remember coming home, playing Super Paper Mario first, and you play it with the Wii Remote NES style.
Yeah.
I remember ejecting the disc, putting in Wii Sports, and using motion. Like, Now this is real Wii gameplay.
Now this is real gaming. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so that became just a staple in my house, as it did
Yeah.
for most people. But then we start to hear about Wii Sports Resort. Again, I know this one was from Nintendo Power and from Nintendo Week, which I just Googled, started in 2009 for a little bit.
Okay. So yes, it
Yeah.
was certainly possible that the
Um,
first one was like that.
yes, we gotta unearth some of my deep like seventh generation Nintendo memories because there's some weird shit that happened there we should talk about at some point. But I remember being so excited for this game, and this is one of the instances where I didn't actually get it right away.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I got it from my grandparents for Christmas. So I don't even remember exactly when the game released, but it was prior to Christmas of the year that it came out, believe it or
Sure.
not. I remember getting that with the Wii Motion Plus in the box,
Yeah.
and loving it. I think that game was truly fantastic. I spent a lot of time playing sword fighting.
Mm.
I also spent a lot of time doing the ping pong. I fucking loved ping pong and basketball. My cousin and I, hours and hours, we would play the basketball and ping pong. So that's just a really special game for me, not only because I was super excited about it, but it was one of those whole family games.
Mm.
When it came out, it became an event for us.
Yeah.
And it's actually similar for Wii Sport, for Wii Fit, that I didn't put on here, but that was very hard to track down Wii Fit Plus back in the day. So remember, that was like that fucking white whale in our household because my parents were like, let's get Wii Fit, let's get Wii Fit. We could never find it. So Wii Fit, but more, I think, relevant to me, Wii Sports Resort was that humongous blue ocean Nintendo game that when it was out, it was a done deal. I was so fucking excited to have that.
Let's dive back into where we really belong, which is, of course, in the wonderful, amazing world of Pokemon.
Sure.
One of the Pokemon games that I remember distinctly being excited the most about inevitably ended up disappointing me slightly, but that is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. And this is the game that I remember following from its inception of the rumors that, oh, we're getting Red and Blue remix this year. And of course, that inevitably being people like, oh, it's Red and Blue sequels and Kanto has been hit by a giant meteor and like all these crazy things that I was digging into and just be like, wow, I can't wait for this. And I remember exactly when this trailer dropped because there was a Pokemon not presents, but it was like a Pokemon press conference going on, and they dropped the trailer for this game in which there is Pokemon in the overworld and local co-op, and you can ride on a Charizard and an Onix, and holy shit, this is awesome. There's a Pokeball controller that has motion controls and acts as a Pokewalker, and I watched that trailer so many times. It's got great music to it. I think it's honestly one of the great Pokemon trailers.
Yeah.
And of course, following all the details about it, which, granted, not many details about those games because once you get the concept, you're like, yup, it's Kanto. And guess what? Mew comes in the Pokeball Plus, and that's what we're going to have at E3 this year. But otherwise, I was very excited for this game, giving Kanto a refresh, but really seeing all these new things I was adding. Pokemon Go integration, Pokemon the overworld, local co-op, riding Pokemon, following Pokemon. Like, all of those were big deals, and I still think some of the best implementations of said things were in those games. And so I was very, very excited for Let's Go.
Quote, this is without a doubt the most excited I've been about a Pokemon game in a while. Before last night's conference, my hype for Pokemon was at an all-time low. Pokemon has been and always will be a favorite series of mine, and pound for pound, I've put more time into it than just about anything else. But I've been growing tired of the same thing over and over and over again. I've been wishing for an overhaul of the format for quite some time, but I'll admit that my ideal Pokemon game strays too far from the established formula. As such, Pokemon Let's Go seems to be a great compromise between the traditional Pokemon experience and the new, fresh take that I'd like to see. There's just so much I like about this game, and frankly, I'm far more excited for the spin-off than I am for the, quote, core title being released in 2019. That is a quote from yours truly, from penguinswithcapes.blogspot.com, shortly after the review of Let's Go, because while it doesn't crack the uppermost echelon for me, I don't think, I was fucking stoked for this game.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have a very interesting history with that game because you actually, for whatever reason, your hype died down on it. Or am I thinking of Sword and Shield?
No, you're right, because when I was just pulling this blog post up, there's another one that I wrote a couple months later called When Accessibility Goes Too Far.
Oh,
Pokemon
interesting.
Let's Go. Whatever the fuck that's about, I don't know or care, but...
So your hype decreased and my hype increased, and then when the game came out, my hype decreased and yours increased, and it was sort of a nice sine wave cosine kind of deal. But what do you got next?
Next, I have New Super Mario Brothers 2.
Of course you do. Why would you not?
Now, what's curious about this is I loved New Super Mario Brothers on DS. That's one
Yeah.
of I think that's probably one of, if not the most foundational game in making a Nintendo fan. The first building block was Donkey Kong Jungle Climb, which is the first Nintendo game I ever owned. But my disinterest in that game led to a copy of New Super Mario Brothers showing up in my home,
Yeah.
and that really kicked things off for me. And so I played the Super Mario Brothers Wii and really loved that. But the one that got really got my goose was New Super Mario Brothers 2, because that was early 3DS days. I was really vibing with 3DS. I distinctly remember opening up my copy of Nintendo Power, and there was just like a one-page spread about New Super Mario Brothers 2. And I distinctly remember it was a poison stage with the big like bumblebee colored spiders with the big suction cupped hands.
Oh yeah, yeah. The vine looking guys with the orange heads. Yeah.
No, you're thinking of a Brambleborg. I forget what his name is. But this is the point is I can see the screenshot in my mind's eye. They're like, oh my god, there's a new 2D Mario game coming out. Fast forward to its release, I for whatever reason, I don't know if I didn't have the money. I don't know if my mom couldn't drive me to the store that day or whatever. I think it was probably both. But then I got a check because this is around summertime, I believe. I got a check from my grandma, whether it's for like a holiday, here's a little bit of money, or you did well in school, here's a little bit of money, whatever.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I had this money enough to buy New Super Mario Brothers 2.
Sure. So
And
not a very big check.
no, very small check. But New Super Mario Brothers 2,
Presumably
Tucker,
like $45.
yes. New Super Mario Brothers 2 became the very first game I ever bought digitally.
Oh, interesting.
Or very first retail game, I should say, because I had a lot of virtual console stuff.
Mhm.
But because you got to remember, we obviously didn't offer its full retail games digitally.
Yeah.
And I want to even say that New Super Mario Brothers 2 might have been the first.
I was unfamiliar.
Yeah.
I was not into the eShop at this point.
Because
I didn't even have a 3DS at this point. So
because what people forget is that the eShop did not launch with the 3DS. There was a period of time there where there was no 3DS eShop. So, and then obviously that stuff is like you can retroactively buy the 2011 stuff. But
Yeah.
I could be wrong about that. But it was an early retail Nintendo game digitally, and it was my first. So I remember all of a sudden, oh, I can't have New Super Mario Brothers 2 right now. Too, the mail's here. I got to check. Mom, here it is. Can I get the game? And I did. And I ended up really enjoying New Super Mario Brothers 2. And I actually, Tucker, I maintain that it is one of, if not the best, New Super Mario Brothers games. It's the one that got fucked over by New Super Mario Brothers Fatigue the most.
Yeah.
But I think it's actually quite good.
Yeah, I have nothing against that game. I've played it. I have a good time with it. But also, it ultimately is rather unmemorable. I think that's obviously something that plagues that entire mini-series of games. But I think it'd be interesting to do a New Super Mario Bros. Breakdown and see which one is actually the best. Because I think each one has its pros and cons. But I don't think any of them are bad. I think people give the New Super Mario Bros. Series a little too much shit. But 2... good on you for having a lot of fucking coins, because that's the thing about that game. Okay, all right. Where are we heading next? Let's head over to Smash. Let's talk about Smash. Let's talk about probably my most anticipated game of all time, which is Smash 4. Smash Brothers for Nintendo 3DS and Wii U was absolutely core to my existence as a human being. I know that's a little bit exaggeratory to say, but I was not following this game as it was initially revealed because I was out of gaming at that point, or at least Nintendo gaming. I had my Steam. I was a PC gamer for a little bit. I was playing my indie games, but Smash, Pokemon, Wii, fucking all this stuff wasn't really in my wheelhouse. I definitely did not have a Wii U at the time. But I can't remember the first time that I saw a Smash 4 trailer live, but I remember following some of the later announcements of characters for the game, Bowser Jr., Duck Hunt, all that nonsense, and being like, wow, they're really pulling some weird characters here. Like, I'm interested to learn about these and see how their moveset plays into the character and what are these new stages are going to be like. And I remember sitting down with a few of my friends, one of them having found out that there was going to be a demo for Smash 3DS. We were sitting in the corner, like our 3DS is next to his router, trying to download the game, and we tried it out, and it's got Mega Man and Pikachu and Villager and Mario and just Battlefield, and we played it all night, and getting that game when it comes out and just playing it nonstop. And I remember being at a band football game the night that game comes out, and my friend having faked illness was at home playing the fucking game, and we were like, oh, we're so jealous. But playing Smash 3DS especially, and Smash 4 by Smash 4 Wii U by extension, is what inspired me to become interested in video game history, to start looking into owning retro consoles, learning more about the video game industry. Like, it is genuinely fundamental to most of my modern interests in modern Tucker. And in Smash 3DS and Wii U, holy god damn, that was a special time in my life.
Yeah, so a lot of your love for that game was my love for Brawl. Like
Yeah,
that's the game that I've said this before, but Brawl, specifically its masterpieces and its trophies and Nintendo Power, are the reason that I care about Nintendo's history and why I play so many virtual console games and why I love older retro stuff and everything. But Smash 4 is certainly up there for me. Between the two, it would be 3DS. My hype for 3DS was significantly higher than my hype for Wii U.
yeah.
Um,
Because Wii U comes out and you're like, I've already seen most of this before.
yeah.
Except for I get to do fucking like little missions for Master Hand or whatever, and go inside Master Fortress, which is not very exciting.
Yeah, I still got that unreleased, but my hype for 3DS was up there really high.
Absolutely.
It was a great fucking game.
I love
Wait,
Smash 3DS.
I would kill you to get Smash Run back in Ultimate.
I don't know if I would go that far. I'm not a huge Smash Run guy, but
Yeah,
I guess I'll respect it.
I don't know. I have a Smash Run. I think is really fucking fun. I know it's kind of weird. I mean, it's just City Trial, but for Smash Brothers. But I was a big fan. Now let's talk about another 3DS game. This is the only Pokemon game on my list, and that's Pokemon Y. Pokemon Y for me was incredibly important in its run up to release. Not only was that, I think, probably at the height of my Pokemon fandom, playing a shit ton of the DS games, but it's also at the time that I switched schools. And the way I made a lot of my earliest friends at my new school was because I was sitting in art class one day and they were talking to the art teacher, who didn't care but was humoring them, about what starters they were going to pick in Pokemon
Sure.
Y, and my ears go, huh?
Pokemon?
And so that became incredibly important, not only in making those friendships, but kind of retaining the friendships I had from my previous school that were also predicated
Sure.
on Pokemon.
Yeah.
And so I remember working my fucking cock and balls off to make $40, which seemed like an unbelievable amount of money, so I could afford the game. And then the worst thing in the world happens, Tucker. I buy Pokemon X on GameStop.com, but it wasn't going to arrive in time because the game comes out and I leave to go visit my uncle.
Yeah,
So
that's always a problem.
So
Always
I
uncles.
remember I did the breaking case of glass and started checking the GameStop app for trade credit offers and traded in a shit ton of games to get then Pokemon Y in store.
Gotcha.
Where my uncle lived. So I ended up with both versions of the game. I think the only time that I've ever bought both versions like simultaneously, I've accumulated the alternate version for other various games, but
Yeah, as we all do. Like, Pokemon
Yeah.
games just appear in Pokemon lovers' households. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, I guess I own Soul Silver now.
yeah, but that one was pivotal, and I would say maybe my most anticipated game ever. It's up there for sure.
Yeah, I have a very interesting I have a very interesting history with Pokemon X and Y because these games came out at a time when as I said, quite similar to Smash 4, I didn't have a 3DS, I didn't have a Wii U, I wasn't invested in these ecosystems or the Nintendo announcement cycles when these games were revealed. However, when I show up at one of my childhood friends' houses and he's playing the new Pokemon game on his 3DS, and I'm like, a 3DS, that's for fucking kids. But then, he's got roller skates, and the fucking you go into the Pokemon Center, and the Pokemon art is out in the back, and like it's got this nice 3D thing to it. I'm like,
Yeah.
ho, baby. So some months later, I get a 3DS with a copy of Pokemon X. I buy my own. I go to the GameStop. I fucking give them the money. A big moment in my life. Obviously, one of my favorite games of all time, Pokemon X. But unfortunately, a game that completely passed me by with its announcement cycle because I got it half a year or more after release.
Sure.
But every game here is a game I got basically, if not at launch, as close to it as I humanly was possible for a younger version of myself. But a game that I definitely got at launch was Super Mario Odyssey, because this game has one of my favorite hype cycles of all time. the reveal of this game
Yes.
at that January Switch press conference, Mario jumping out of the thing, he's riding on a fucking lion. He's throwing his cap and jumping. This is wild. It's Mario Theft Auto, baby. We're gonna have a great goddamn time. And of course, it comes later down the pipeline. E3, Jump Up Superstar starts playing. Mario jumps out of a dinosaur. We learn about the capture mechanic. We see Pauline at the end. It's coming out in October. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. And over the course of the next months, okay, oh, we're seeing Snow Kingdom. Oh, there's some other things here. And then the game comes out, and I have my friend drive me, because I do not own a motor vehicle at this point, drive me to GameStop during our lunch period. And I just played Super Mario Odyssey. And that game was my life for the month or two after it came out. And obviously still one of my favorite games of all time, but I do think Nintendo really nailed the hype cycle for this game in terms of amazing reveal trailer, incredible E3 trailer, and maybe a little too much, but I think good amount of information after that to get people excited, and the game come out and being one of the games of its year and return to this formula, and everyone's so excited about the Switch. Like, it was such a special time of energy, and I think probably the last time like a Mario game has been as big as it was, because we haven't really gotten any games out of this caliber since.
No. Yeah, I mean this one is on my list. So I see where I disagree is I think they showed way too much.
Mm-hmm.
I think like Metroid Dread, they shouldn't have done what they did, especially I think for Mario, because Mario sells because he's Mario, right?
Yeah.
I get why they had to blow the load with Kraid and everything in the Dread trailers, but like he could probably hold himself back from Mario. But that aside, when I remember that game being announced, I was supposed to watch the January Switch presentation with my friend because he was coming to sleep over the night after. So that presentation was a Thursday night. My friend was coming to sleep over on Friday night. We made a fucking blood pact that neither of us would watch the presentation without the other until the next day. Of course, I watched it anyway.
You sly dog.
But I remember lying in bed and seeing the manhole cover shake and thinking to myself, oh, this is the Detective Pikachu port. Pikachu's going to hop out of
gotcha.
there.
Yeah.
And then Mario hopped out of there, and I remember being so fucking excited. And then we get to launch. The game releases. I buy it digitally. I have to get up for school every day at 6 a.m. My internal clock is wrong. I wake up at 4:30. And I'm like, oh, I go back to bed for an hour and a half. And then, no.
Don't go back to sleep. There's Mario to play.
I have Mario Odyssey preloaded on my Switch. So I remember I played until I had to get up for school, and then I played all the way in the car. And then when my mom was a teacher, we had to get to school early, so I played until class started and everything. It's really a lovely game. It is. For as much shit as I'd give it structurally, because I do have issues with its core design, the feel of Odyssey, the aesthetic of Odyssey, the just playing Odyssey is so special, and it remains so special.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to see where they take it.
Yeah.
Next, because I do think
they did. It's called Bowser's Fury. Throw another game my way.
Mario Kart 8.
You just do a couple more?
Yeah, I got a couple more. That I must hit. More that I must hit. Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart 8, I don't get right away because I didn't have a Wii U at this point. Now, 2012 happens, Tucker.
Yeah, usually.
And I was so excited to get a Wii U. For my birthday, I said, all I want for my birthday is a Wii U. My parents go, oh, yeah, sorry, I can't have a Wii U. It turns out, in hindsight, it's because they had already bought me an iPod Touch.
Okay.
And couldn't afford to get me a Wii U also, obviously.
That's fair.
Which I didn't know about. And so then I was like, yeah, that's fine. Fuck the Wii U. I didn't really care. Because I still had my 3DS, and obviously 3DS was thriving at that time, so I was still playing Nintendo games. But then 2014 rolls around, and I shatter my wrist on playing tennis.
As you were known to do, yeah, it's a classic thing.
And I'm stuck at home for a couple of days. And I get back in the Wii U train, because this was September 2014. Mario Kart comes out a couple months prior. So Mario Kart reinvigorates me, because my family loves Mario Kart Wii. We play it all the time. The only reason it's on this list is because I got the game. I think I got my Wii even maybe after Mario Kart Wii was already out. So I wasn't anticipating that. But I was anticipating 7, and I got 7. And then 8 comes around, and I can't have it. But here I am, stuck at home, back on it, watching these videos, showing them my parents, like, I need a Wii U, and I need Mario Kart 8. So like, yeah, let's get you a Wii U and Mario Kart 8. And what they meant by that is, yeah, let's help you go through everything you have and find enough trade-in value so you can just get a Wii U anyway.
You've got a lot of stories like this.
And that is, I think, maybe the most devastating day in my life from the retrospective angle of losing a lot of my collection. Like I
Yeah.
lost a lot of my collection that
Any
day.
specific games that stick out?
Oh yeah, I lost a stack of GameCube games
Oh,
to the tune of like single dollars per game. I
of course,
remember,
those games worth probably a good amount because that GameCube games are worth a good amount.
yeah, I mean, this was still a little bit before the incredible retro bubble we're in now, but they were still worth more than I got. I like if I it would cost a lot of fucking money to replace the GameCube games I lost. But the point is, I get Mario Kart 8 in my hands a couple months later, and I love it. And that becomes the only game I played for a long time. And of course, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe comes back, and now it's one of my favorite games of all time. But Mario Kart 8 must be given a shout out.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, I've got three more must hits for me. How many more you got?
One, two, three. I would say four.
Okay, you want to go again then?
I'll go. I'm going to go again because I'm gambling on one of these also being yours. I'm assuming it is.
Okay.
Splatoon, I must talk about.
Oh, Splatoon 1.
Splatoon
Interesting.
1.
Okay. All
Not
right, all
Splatoon
right.
2. Because I was very excited for Splatoon 2, but I was nowhere near Splatoon 1.
Yeah.
Splatoon 1 is announced. I was not paying attention to its announcement. Where it really,
I actually don't even know where it was announced. I've never seen like a reveal trailer for it.
It was
I mean, I guess I
announced,
know the reveal
yeah.
trailer with the fucking inklings in the white background, but like,
I believe it was E3 2014 because I didn't start watching E3 showcases until 2015.
mm-hmm.
But I remember Jay Wetz tweeting about it and being like, "Ooh, I wonder what Splatoon is." But what the game really ends up being on my radar is when those test fires start.
Sure.
And you can play the game early, and I was basically immediately enamored by Splatoon. I love the world, I love the characters, I love the gameplay, and so the test fires happen. I believe if I remember the first one completely fails, like you can't even get into it.
Oh, interesting.
So there's like a little bit of like a training area. So I remember for the entire duration of the test fire just being the training area. More Splatfests happen. My hype builds. I pre-order it. The game comes out end of May. I remember it was the week before my final exams because I went to a private school, so we're done early June. Comes out the week before my final exams. I get it that weekend, and I'm supposed to be studying for my tests.
But guess fucking what?
And I remember distinctly playing the life out of that game, and my parents going. They had to go run errands. I'm supposed to be studying. Run downstairs to where my Wii U is, and I play the game. I remember them coming back, getting mad at me because I was playing the game, and obviously it's round based, so I can't just shut it off and run back upstairs. I'm like, I have to finish. But I was immediately in love with Splatoon. So that Pokemon Y, and I think one other game we're gonna mention. I probably my three most anticipated games of all time.
I wish I was around for the reveal of Splatoon and all that, but
Yeah.
a game that has passed me by. Splatoon 3 is going to be the one that I think I really get on the ground floor on because
Yeah.
Splatoon 2 I didn't get to until like summer 2018 is when I really got into it. So I was late to the ball on that, and maybe for better because that game was more content
Yes.
when that released,
I
when
agree.
I got around to it. But oh man, The Last of Us 2. The Last of Us 2 is probably one of the most special games to me of all time because it's one of the best games of all time. You and I agree on that. But a game that is very special to me because it was one of the first times that a sequel to a game that I really loved was coming out. You know, I'd heard about Uncharted 4 releasing, and I maybe played Drake's Fortune at that point, but like I was, I wasn't losing my mind about that. But the way that they posed the reveal trailer for Last of Us 2, I think is incredibly important and special to this game. The way that Sean Layden walks out on stage and he's like, we've got a team, this is very early in development, but they're very excited to show you this. And the screen comes up and it's a forest, and it's like, what's going on? And you see that Firefly logo on the stop sign, it's like, boom, Naughty Dog. And they're like, oh yeah, we fucking know what we're doing. And it's so perfectly paced of Naughty Dog, at the end of Last of Us, boom, part 2, revealing Ellie is older, revealing that Joel is still there. Like, this trailer is so engineered for people need to know The Last of Us is back, and we are really excited about it.
Yeah.
And then the game goes fucking dead silent for like 2.5 years or whatever, and I kind of forget about it, but you know who doesn't is my father, who bought me my PS4 because I made a live reaction to the Last of Us 2 trailer. And he watched it and he's like, oh, this game is coming out on PS4. I will buy my son this system for Christmas. The game doesn't come out until like 3 years after that.
Yeah.
But I have a PS4 for it because my dad saw that reaction, and all of that just leads to this game, and it being one of my favorite games of all time. I'd argue one of the best games of all time. Is just like a perfect encapsulation of why video game press cycles and announcements and trailers and detailed pre-launch are so important to me, because I think they really do carry my interest in something. And of course, the game releasing and being as great as it is just the fucking cherry on top.
What's funny is I was not excited for Last of Us Part 2 at all.
Really? Okay.
I wasn't even buy the fucking game because it was important to remember is I didn't have a PS3. So I didn't play The Last of Us when it was new. I didn't play The Last of Us until many, 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 many years later.
I remember you mentioning that to me.
Yeah, and I finally did play it, and I was like, yeah, this game's really cool. But it wasn't, at that point, it lost a lot of its impact.
Yeah.
And so I actually basically picked up Last of Us Part 2 on a whim. Because it was about to release. I'm like, you know what? I like Naughty Dog a lot. I think I got to play it. And then we both know what happened from there. Now I consider it to be one of, if not the best game in the entire industry. So
yeah.
I did not have your same experience, but we reached the same conclusion.
Best possible outcome for both of us.
Let's talk about the game actually that sold me on a PS4. That's Star Wars Battlefront.
Of course it was.
Yeah, so Star Wars Battlefront, actually similar to my whole Wii U thing, not getting it at launch and thinking it was stupid. I remember it was November 2015, Battlefront comes out. And I don't have a PS4. I don't have any system that can play it. And then the reviews start to come out and they're kind of like, whatever. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I don't like this game anyway. I've played Battlefront on PS2 since I was a kid. It's one of my favorite games of all time. But fuck it. I don't want this new one anyway, because it has these microtransactions and they look dumb. Or maybe it wasn't. I don't remember what the issue was. Maybe it was too light on content. It was fucking something. I don't want this game at all. And then my cousin had it. And I was like, I can't hold that. I know I need this game. I know I need it. And so after Christmas, I finally have enough money saved up from Christmas and through trades and everything that I get a PS4, I get Battlefront, and I adore it. Because suddenly my I don't want this thing that I can't have anyway mentality fades away, and I remember how beautiful those trailers were and how hyped I was to see, oh my god, look at how beautiful Hoth is, and they're bringing back Battlefront, because I used to watch as a kid where are Battlefront 3 videos. There's a couple YouTubers who would obviously the game was canceled, but there's so much leaks and stuff coming out of it that I was so invigorated by the thought of Battlefront 3, and it finally happened.
Yeah, basically, of course.
And when it became real that I could actually have it, it was a done deal. So that January I get it.
It's all off the fucking table. Yeah.
And I've played 150 hours of that game, and it's not that good, but still holds very, very special.
A lot about our society.
Yeah, it holds a very, very, very special place in my heart.
All right, I've got two more. I assume one of these is shared. And yes. I think I'll end with that. So of course I've got to jump to something that is not on your list.
Okay.
Because you already said that there's not another game from this franchise on your list, which is of course Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Sure.
This. What did I say was my most anticipated game of all time? I fucking said it for one of these goddamn things.
Chameleon Twist?
Probably, yeah, I think it was that. But I have to retroactively retract that, because Pokemon Sun and Moon is the closest I have ever followed the information about a video game in my life. I was fucking obsessed with this game. The summer of 2016, when it was announced early in summer, the logos leaked by a German website the night before, and they've got this Pokemon Presents in the morning that starts off with a bunch of nonsense, but then leads into this trailer with people are trading and they're going out and having fun together, and there's boom, all the languages are flashing. It's like, oh, what does this mean? What does this mean? You see that wireframe of Picky Pack? There's all this shit going on. It's like, boom, Pokemon Sun and Moon releasing in 9 languages worldwide, November of 2016. I'm like, oh, fantastic trailer, fantastic fucking trailer. But then just the way that they drip feed, and of course they did this for Sword and Shield as well, and I'm very excited for it to really officially start for Scarlet and Violet, is a little trailer with a little piece of information here, a little piece of information there. Oh, Alolan forms are here. We got trial captains. The trials are a thing. New Pokemon, new evolution for an old Pokemon. Holy shit, there's so much stuff here. So cool. What's going on? And the game comes out, and I'm obsessed with it for forever. I complete the Alolan decks.
Yeah.
Phenomenal experience all around. But I just remember waking up ecstatic every time there was any new trailer, any new anything, because it felt like they could show anything. We could learn that there's going to be a dragon type executor that's 20 feet tall. Fucking all bets were off the goddamn chart. And just watching people react to them, like there's a lot of Sun and Moon trailer reaction videos out there, and that's how I became interested in a lot of my current favorite YouTubers. It was a really special time for me, and I'm so excited to finally be with a YouTube channel where I can make coverage that I used to watch, because that's the kind of stuff I loved, was watching people's reactions, listening to them talk about speculation of, oh, what does this part of the region mean? You see a little corner of the map, and there suddenly people are talking about what this kind of environment could mean for a new Pokemon and stuff like that. And that kind of detail on Pokemon release is special. I really think there's nothing like it, and I really hope they do a drip feed like that for Scarlet and Violet, because I want to cover it. Every time there's a new trailer, I need to react to it. I need to have a discussion in my own head of, is Pokemon's there? What am I going to do with this? Like, holy good God, that was special for me.
Yeah, so that game comes out 2016, which is the year I get my PS4, and I actually get a Vita. So I was like, yes. But I was like, yeah, I don't care about Nintendo anymore. And there's a period of time, especially because there was basically nothing of consequence releasing on Wii or 3DS that year, other than a few things. But I was basically not paying any attention. I didn't really care. So from like January 2016 through probably February 2017, right before Switch releases, I was only playing PlayStation stuff. The exception, though, being Pokemon Moon, which I picked up, and it was like the one Nintendo thing from that.
I'll allow myself to slip back into this childish mindset and purchase a Nintendo game.
Well, the thing is, I played Twilight Princess HD a little bit. I played Star Fox Zero. I played Pokemon Tournament and everything, but the only one that really grabs me that year was Pokemon Moon. So I didn't have any hype for it because I didn't really care about it until it was actually in my hands. But I'm very excited to do the Scarlet and Violet stuff with you.
Absolutely. Holy shit. Got it. My body is physically getting warm thinking about this. I have probably peed my pants during this discussion multiple times.
So I have two more, not including the shared ones. So I'm going to hit them really quickly.
Okay.
Mario Maker 2, I want to knock out really quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Just because that game, I was anticipating that. You can go back to Penguins with Capes and find a lot of mentions on that blog of when's Mario Maker coming? When's Mario Maker coming? I thought it was going to be 2018, wasn't. Ended up being 2019. And I was so excited. So I'm just going to leave that there. That's kind of just a sidebar extra one I throw in there. But obviously, the one I have to talk about before we get to the one we share, Breath of the Wild.
Oh man.
Yeah, so Breath of the Wild.
This is a game that should be on my list, but I've kind of I've given it a slip because I only really cared about this game at that January presentation. But of course, I was excited for it, and I'll share a little bit of my stories after you guys.
Right. Yeah, so I was excited about this game from the jump. I remember the trailer. I'm not sure if this is. So there's the first one we see, of course, of Link being chased by the Guardian across the bridge. And then I don't remember if this is in the same trailer, if this is a different one, where we see Link in the in-engine on the horse in the grass, and it says 2015. And that was from there. I was like,
sorry.
No, it was supposed to come out 2015. Right?
No. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Nintendo for putting that in the fucking trailer.
But it was either 20. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be 2015.
What would Nintendo's history be like if Breath of the Wild released on Wii U? One of the highest critically acclaimed games of all time releases on Wii U exclusively. Do people go out and buy a Wii U for this fucking game? Does the Wii U last longer? What a crazy history to think about it. All of the history.
I think they realized the game was that good and they couldn't do that. They couldn't possibly do that. But from there, I was enamored with the concept of the game. E3 2016 rolls around with rare exception is just Breath of the Wild.
Only Breath of the Wild,
I remember being floored by how it looked at E3. Like, this game looks just insane. Then we get closer, and it's time to get a Switch. I've told this story before, but I remember Switch gets announced in October of 2016. Telling my dad about it on rides home from school, telling him about it, not thinking much of our conversations. He gives me for Christmas a piece of paper that says,
I owe you a Switch.
Yeah, this is good for a Switch, and it gave me your choice at launch. Of course, I gave him my choice with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Well, it was a game of everyone's choice.
Yeah. And so some of this hype is intermingled with just getting a brand new Nintendo console on day one for the first time ever. But I remember getting the Switch. Because the game was coming, I believe, from Amazon. The Switch is coming from GameStop. So they both arrived separately that night. And I remember tearing open the package and pulling out a little Switch box and being amazed by it and loving the artwork and everything. And this game that I've been waiting for year after year, delay after delay, was finally in my hands. Take it out of the packaging, put it in my brand new Switch, and just being amazed by it. Just
Naturally.
absolutely amazed by it. And then spending, because the very next day, actually, I leave to go visit my grandparents and just playing it constantly, divorced from even really the ability to communicate with anybody about it, because I'm on planes, I'm on the bus and everything. So just that experience of experiencing the game and exploring its systems, absolutely incredible. And believe it or not, Breath of the Wild lived up to my years and years and years and years of hype.
As it did for most people. This is the game that is very important to me, as it is one of the first Nintendo games not Pokemon or Smash, that I get at launch. It comes with my Switch. What did I get day one? I'm in the fucking Best Buy line. I've told this story a million times. But what really is special to me about Breath of the Wild is that January Switch presentation trailer. That they know, much like the Last of Us 2 reveal trailer. Of course, this isn't the reveal trailer for Breath of the Wild, but they know how important this fucking trailer is and how good it is, frankly. The fact that they end the conference, it's going down, that's like, oh, no, we got one more thing. We'll give you the release date for the console, it's fine. Oh, Miyamoto's playing this game. Oh, Reggie's coming over and talking to him. Aonuma comes out of the fucking shadows, I don't even know. And they show this trailer that I think by pretty much any account is one of, if not the greatest video game trailers of all time. The music is pounding. They're showing the Zora and the Rito and the Gerudo and all this shit, and oh my god, they've got all these abilities, and fantastic. And then it ends with "Open Your Eyes, Link." Boom, March 3rd, 2017, and just like at this moment, I'm floored. I'm ready. I can't wait. The Switch is coming out in 2 months. I'm losing my fucking mind, and just like, man, what a powerful fucking trailer.
I don't remember that trailer at all. People say it's that trailer all the time. I genuinely, honestly, and truly do not have any fucking clue what happened in that trailer.
What about the part where like the fucking the Guardians are crawling over the town, and only in the Japanese version does Zelda break down crying, like bawling in Link's arms, and it's like, holy shit, this is powerful.
See, to me, I don't even care, because if you're talking about Breath of the Wild pre-release, how could you possibly beat showing up to the Game Awards and showing off-screen footage of the game? Like when I think back to what's special about when Breath of the Wild coming out, it was not when it was at our fingertips with that trailer. It's here's 2 seconds of footage of Link on a horse, or then here's Aonuma playing the game at Game Awards, and he's sitting on this fucking couch with Miyamoto, and they're showing it off, and the game is running behind them, but you can't really see it. Yeah. Like to me, that's what I remember. But I also, this, I don't pay especially close attention to game trailers, so I'm not really.
It's unfortunate. God, I this is not a joke. I rewatch that trailer probably once or twice a month, and I rewatch plenty of people's reactions to it and stuff. And just hearing the music from the trailer, I have it so fucking ingrained in my brain. I will get tears in my eyes when the music is hyping up, and it's the part where Zelda's breaking down his arms, and right after that, fucking the Great Fairy bursts out of the thing, and one of the Gorons is like, and everyone's cheering because of the fucking Goron. Fuck. God damn it.
The one trailer like that gets me is the actual proper Switch Super Bowl trailer with Believer in the background.
Oh God, what a great commercial. I love that great commercial. Yeah.
Last one, we both know what it is.
It better be Smash Ultimate, because if you're fucking cock teasing me here.
I'm gonna say Mario Golf.
The original Mario Golf coming to N64 online.
Yeah, I mean the trailer just put on YouTube the other day.
Jesus Christ.
No, of course we didn't Smash Ultimate.
You start with Smash, because I just fucking ranted my heart out about
Smash Ultimate. You want to talk about one of the few trailers that's really affected me. Smash Ultimate's a real trailer, because I'm at my grandparents' house. It's March 2018. And we see that and one more thing, and it's the Inklings. And I had a feeling, like I knew it was like, this is Smash, right? This has got to be Smash. But I maintain, you said the Breath of the Wild trailer is arguably the greatest trailer of all time. There will never be, ever, a better moment in any video game trailer ever than when the Inkling turns around and their iris becomes a Smash Ball.
I don't disagree with you. I think that is the best single moment of imagery in a trailer I've ever seen. But I think the emotional impact and the editing and the music and stuff, as an overall as a trailer, the Inkling's just like bopping around for like 30 seconds. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, that's not, that part of the trailer isn't that great. But of course, everything after that, whoop, ching, and then the fucking logo comes up and it's 2018 and you see Breath of the Wild Link in the background, all that shit. Fucking hell.
And what I would obviously, this was far before BLB, but I did what was basically a one of the fake reactions that everybody does online. Sorry, unless we're talking about very specific people, they're fake, and I maintain that because I'm a curmudgeon and an idiot. But I remember my mouth literally, my mouth was agape, and I was chewing gum, and it fell out of my mouth onto the bed. I was like, "Oh my god!" Now, Smash Brothers.
While we're let's just go through this a little bit chronologically because I think that this is an important enough game, important enough set of trailers and everything to fucking talk about it. I have a very special set of memories with the Smash Ultimate reveal trailers or trailers in general, but the reveal trailer especially because I'm getting out of school. There's a fucking Nintendo Directs always happen right as I'm getting out of school in high school. It fucking annoyed the shit out of me. But I'm sitting on the bus. I'm watching Okami HD get revealed. Fucking Fractured Butthole, or no, I guess it was Stick of Truth at that time. Undertale. I'm like, this is a great direct. Crash Bandicoot, like fucking awesome. And then
Luigi's Mansion on 3DS.
Yeah, god damn it. Then the Octo expansion, a very good trailer. I enjoy that trailer. And then I'm like, and they do. I don't even get to the one more thing. They're standing there like, thank you for watching, everyone. I turn my phone off. I'm sitting there. I'm like, that was a good direct. You know, I'm happy with it. I'm riding the bus home, and I'm getting texts like, oh my god, I can't believe Smash just got announced. I'm like, you can't fucking do that to me. This happens at the end of every Nintendo Direct, and I'm never gonna fucking believe it. But then people are like, no, seriously, go back to the fucking Direct. And I'm like, oh. So I'm on a bus when I watched the Smash Ultimate reveal trailer for the first time, and just like being floored that this was happening, and it was happening this year. Because for all the history of Smash up until this point, Smash is a game that is announced and released 3-4 years later. Like, we've got a lot of time to trick feed a bunch of stuff, but Smash Ultimate had a very condensed hype cycle, and I think it worked wonders for it, frankly.
It's no Melee condensed, but it was
sure. Yeah.
Because Melee fucking crazy development cycle there. But no, I agree with you completely. I think they got it right. And I remember so distinctly the hours after that announcement, like people trying to parse out, is this a port?
Yes.
That was
not for hours. Question. Not for hours. 4 months after that game. Until E3. And frankly, after E3 a little bit too. True. There are still some people who would argue that Smash Ultimate is a port of Smash 4, which is a little bit strange to me. But
it's a completely different game engine. I don't know what people want out of Sakurai, but no, yeah. I mean, it's fucking Smash Ultimate. What more is there really to say?
Well, there's plenty more to fucking say. Are you kidding me? The E3 trailer is probably the best, like, crowded trailer moment I've ever had in my life, because it was one of the few times that I got my friends around, because Sakurai had said on fucking Twitter, like, the day before, this is where Smash is being blown out. Like, you're gonna learn everything about it. So I get like 7 friends, most of whom do not care about anything Nintendo except for Smash, and we're all sitting on the floor in my fucking room with the thing on the trailer, and you've gone through, you're fucking Mario, and you got your fucking Kirby and Samus, and then boom, Solid Snake, and I'm like, what the fuck? And just everything about the Everyone Is Here trailer is, I'd say that's another one of the best game trailers of all time, and I think that's hard to argue against.
I just think that E3 presentation was very good, so that kind of
it wasn't.
That colors my expectations of it as well. But it's a good trailer. But again, it just comes for me. It's like, yeah, they're all good trailers.
Sure.
But if I had to speak about, like, what was the character reveal trailer that I really loved? It's probably King K. Rool. Of course, this is several months later then, because that was late summer he gets announced. But yeah, Smash trailers are cool. But this is really why aren't you talking about this? Because you actually care about the marketing materials.
Yeah, and the reason I get so excited thinking about Smash Ultimate's reveal cycle is obviously the game very important to me. Playing it, one of my favorite games of all time. It's a very long-standing game. The hype cycle afterward and all that, but pre-release, I do think they did a fantastic job at having each direct, because it was Smash Directs, and the Nintendo Directs having something about Smash in them, pacing it out pretty much perfectly with the first direct being, oh, we're getting more echoes, and it's fucking Crom and Richter and Simon and K. Rool and Darksaber. Is oh man, this is really interesting. This game is going to be maybe more than we expected, because in my mind, Sakurai right after the E3 presentation says, guys, don't get your hopes up. This game's not going to have as many new characters as it's going to be. And the next direct reveals 5 new characters, and we're like, this motherfucker's messing with us. This motherfucker's messing with us. And of course, Smash Ultimate at launch, I think, has slightly less than Smash 4, but still, like, obviously a very substantial amount of newcomers.
Yes.
And then the Isabelle reveal, great fucking moment, combined with the announcement of New Horizons, or Animal Crossing for Switch coming out, of course, in 2019. Everyone knows it. And then one of the most interesting direct reactions I've ever had is sitting in my engineering class watching the Smash presentation with Ken and Incineroar at the beginning and then World of Light at the end, and being like, oh, Incineroar is the last character that they're revealing. That's a little bit of a letdown. Like, why aren't you ending on Ridley or Simon Belmont or something like that? But watching that World of Light trailer, I'm like, man, this is something special. This is big, and just really having a great time with all of that. I have so many fucking memories with this game.
Yeah, I have memories when it comes out. That's the last thing I have to talk about. Because, like, again, I've talked about this before. We've talked about it more off camera than on camera, but I really don't need to watch trailers for stuff. I do, because Smash trailers are fun. The difference for me between a Smash Brothers trailer and basically any other trailer is that it's the difference between watching to enjoy a cool cinematic and get a cool reveal, or just coming for information. 95% of trailers for me are just, what's the information?
Sure. Yeah.
Honestly, for me, the Super Mario Odyssey, like, here's the capture mechanic trailer, could have been a bulleted blog post, and I would have gotten the same amount of hype. And now that's not for me to say that those are equivalent in any way. But for me personally, I don't care. Don't show me anything. Just give me the game and let me see it. But for Smash Brothers, I think it is at least a little bit different, because you get to fucking watch the Jiggy bounce across, and then here's Banjo Kazooie out, and no, it's DDD making a joke, and then Banjo Kazooie fucking hits them, and there's the bear and the bird. But it was really the night of Smash's release that I was super excited about.
Yeah.
It's also when we get Joker announced.
God damn it. You can't fucking let me go through my whole spiel about reveal trailers and forget that the fucking Game Awards happens when I'm waiting in a Best Buy line with like 60 people to get this fucking game, and watching the Game Awards on our phone,
Right,
because we're waiting outside fucking Best Buy, and boom, fucking theater goes dark. And it's like, god damn, it's fucking Persona. I don't give a shit about Persona at this. I still don't really give a shit about Persona, even though I played the fucking game. And I'm like, swing, Smash Brothers. And then that, of course, setting off the whole tangent of, oh god, what's this fucking DLC pass going to be like? It's going to be crazy. And of course, it largely was. It was a few ups and downs, but that Joker moment really puts a nail in the coffin. Everyone's like, this is a really special game, and they fucking know it. The way that they have the theater go dark and have Joker be the first one revealed and all of that, fucking phenomenal.
that was my Joker moment. But what I really remember is watching the Game Awards with the explicit function of keeping myself occupied until the game unlocked that midnight.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And then playing it a little bit and be like, this is not Smash 4. I'm not very good at this game. And I remember then getting up the next day and trying to unlock new characters and literally having them kick my teeth in. And having to go back.
They were hard at the beginning. I don't know why, but
having to go back and then, fight them in the little, like you could find that little door in the menus to go redo newcomer fights.
That's a funny memory for me, because I would get beaten by a few, and then I would like lie to my friends that I had gotten beaten. I'm like, oh, fucking, of course I unlocked Peach. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But in reality, I had not yet, because I'd lost multiple times to Peach.
Yeah, but that whole weekend getting all the characters unlocked was so much fun. So, yeah, good game, believe it or not.
God. Almost all of these were good games. I really only allowed myself the Avengers thing to like put a little bit of checks and balances on here.
Sure.
Babu freak!
Good is ready. Good, remember to go black. Black.
So true.
Uh-oh.
Tucker, anything else you want to add before we end the video?